So real quick, we're going to have a look here at the tools that we'll need to rig this stabilizer up to a bow. It'll be the stabilizer and the wrist strap, and the you know, with a quick disconnect in place. So all we'll need is the 1/4 inch hex head wrench, and that's for the actual mounting bolt, and then an 1/8 inch hex head wrench, and that will be for the to hook the sling up and then tighten the set screw here. So those are the tools we need. I'm going to go ahead and get my bow and reposition the camera here. I think I'll just put this, yeah, probably just bring the bow and set it here, but let me see which way is going to be easiest, and then I'll be right back with you. Yeah, so it looks like this will be about the easiest way to mount this, and to do it without hurting the bow or the other equipment. And also, it's pretty comfortable and everything. It's a little funny working around the camera, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting this bracket on. So something I learned here while working with this sling, it does matter which direction that you mount this. I was somewhat uncomfortable, at the time. I was doing this on the fly. I never mounted it or anything before, so I was just kind of doing it as I went. And I did discover that for me, and probably for most shooters, you're going to want to, when you mount this, it's got an angle. It's got an angle in this mounting bracket that kind of goes like this. And originally I had it mounted essentially backwards, and it was uncomfortable for me. Now, it could be a matter of taste, but I'd say most shooters are gonna rather have this mounted like back, the angle back towards you. So when you're putting the bracket on there, you want to pay attention to that and make sure that you have it oriented in the way that you is most comfortable for you. Another quick thing that I learned about it, just messing with it a little, it's easiest to make the adjustment on length by using your fingers and then just kind of loosening that, and you can move it around. It's less awkward than having the wrench. And then kind of where you want, once you get it where you want it, then you can take the wrench and tighten it down. So just wanted to make sure I pointed out that you do want to pay some attention when you're mounting the bracket for the sling. You want, again, most people are probably going to want more of an orientation like this, the way that it is there, instead of more or less I had it upside down. So anyway, we'll continue on. So this will go on along with the bottom part, or the I guess you call it the bracket of the quick disconnect, and this is the one that will take the 1/4 inch Allen hex wrench here. So let's get it started. And make sure, of course, you get it started straight. And it's pretty straightforward here. We'll be careful not to damage anything. I think, let me see how this goes. I have somewhat of a case of OCD, so I like my stuff being a certain way. So I'm going to want my Trophy Ridge emblem on this to be right side up. So, because it wouldn't necessarily really matter, just kind of whatever your preference is. But in my case, I'm going to try to mount this, then flip it 90 degrees. So the opening will be at the bottom, and I'm going to make sure that that's going to work with my riser for clearance. Okay, square that up just a little bit. And also I'm keeping the mounting bracket for the wrist sling square as well. Okay, so you don't want to over tighten, but pretty snug. This has a little dimple on it here. And that is the way that fits in. In other words, the dimple goes in first. And this should twist around. Yeah. And that gives me the fit that I'm looking for there. So it looks pretty good on there. Like I said, I'm going with a yellow scheme this year. So that will, you know, fit in nicely with what I've got going on here already. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to square that up just a little bit, and then real quickly I'll just go ahead and install the wrist sling. So a few twists, and that allows us to come out. Set it off to the side. I'll loosen this up just a little and adjust that to where it's pretty much square, meaning like this way, so I don't have an angle. This should be fairly straightforward here. Loosen the set screws up. Again, one on each side. Should be a pretty, seems like a pretty nice sling. It's nothing real fancy, but I like the fact that this is aluminum, that it's metal. It should hold up better. I have some of the ones that are like leather and synthetic and that sort of thing, and they do okay, but I think this will be more durable, especially, you know, as hunting season wears on. So we'll look at this here. You want to make sure, you want to make sure that you don't have this really tight, the sling, but also that it's tight enough that it, you know, is actually functional and allowing you to trust it, so you don't feel like you're going to drop the bow. I think that's going to be pretty good to start with. One thing that's nice about this seems like it's going to be really pretty easy to make adjustments on down the road. But what could happen, you know, especially once, you know, colder weather sets in and you start layering up, this sling, as you have your gloves on and heavier jacket and that sort of thing, you know, you may have to give a little more room on the sling so that it's not too tight. So I'm going to snug those down. Again, it's aluminum and steel. The set screws are steel. The mounting bracket is aluminum, so we're not going to get too crazy with it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then we go ahead and mount our stabilizer. And go, of course, again with that quick disconnect, it'll come off on and off of there pretty quick and pretty easy. And yeah, there we have it. So that for now is the that part of this rig that I'm planning to use. You know, this will be my primary hunting bow most likely this year. I have several other bows, but this is kind of always the one that ends up going hunting the most. So that's the plan for now. So most likely we'll use this this 6-inch Hitman stabilizer on this rig for now. I may try some other ones out, but I mean, I think this will be fine. I don't see any reason that it wouldn't be. I mean, it's nothing real fancy. The only thing that really lacks that I may want, I mean, is a little bit of length, and I wouldn't mind to have a back bar on, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. I don't traditionally use one, but I'd like to try it. I believe in some of the balance. I've seen some of these, some of the other guys talking about, so I want to experiment with that. So, you know, if you had a different, the other set of these, or there's other companies that make them that have that back bar bracket, but for now, I am gonna give this a go. I pretty much have this bow tuned, so I'll probably do some other videos. I haven't chronographed it yet and that sort of thing, so probably have a look at that. You'll see this bow again, I'm sure. All right, take care.